Creatures of the night, it's your girl Tati. Let's talk the G1 Climax 35, night 6. I am literally 6 nights in, and I'm just like, okay, girl, I think you can continue to review every single show. And I'm gonna go for that. I'm gonna go for that and see if I'll be able to do every single night. We'll see. Now, we had a interesting show because we actually started off with a Hogan tribute. So this was more like sort of a bit of a pre-show. Typically, we haven't been having like pre-shows when it comes to the G1. So when they do pre-shows for other shows, it would be like a match or two with the Young Lions and whatnot. But this time what they did was a few people, not the whole roster or anything. Matter of fact, people were still coming into the building by the time they started the Hogan tribute. They didn't have any video packages or anything. But like in Asian cultures, when someone passed away, they typically have a portrait of someone or whoever it is that passed away, and they're like displaying it. So that's what they did. Not all the wrestlers that are in New Japan were actually out there. Matter of fact, this was like a good 20 minutes before the show started. So I know some people was back there getting ready, and then you see the background and around that people are still getting into the building. No video package, but they did talk about Hogan's influence, especially in Japan, not just within New Japan, but all Japan and some of the other promotions that are no longer around within Japan. And they mentioned some like achievements within his time in WWE as well. And I don't know, it probably wasn't even 10 minutes or whatnot. So that was pretty interesting to see. I know people were looking for reactions of people on SmackDown last night. And to be honest with you, in New Japan, no one actually, this is not me saying that no one cared or whatever, but everybody kind of just stood there. You know what I mean? Like everybody just stood there and paid respects. And that was pretty much it. And then they stopped with the feed. And then when the show started, we got back to the show. I also want to mention one more thing. Last night, I didn't necessarily care to comment on night 5, but they're in a different location from the other nights. I forgot what city it is. I can't remember. But I noticed that it just didn't look as full as the other locations, but I was like, oh, whatever, we're just gonna enjoy the show anyway. And I was reading how people were saying that in this particular location that they were able to do a little bit more than 2 times more the attendance last year than this year. And I was just like, holy shit, like that is very alarming. I don't think that New Japan are having bad shows. I think that there are some things that needs to be fixed in terms of having newer stars, younger stars, foreign stars, and just people that the audience can relate to. And I don't want to say that they don't relate to the people who were there, but things have changed. Naito Bushi's gone. Will Ospreay gone. A whole bunch of people that went from New Japan to go to AEW or maybe even WWE, like Jeff Cobb, like they've missed a lot of people over the past just like year and a half-ish, and it's pretty alarming to see that might be the reason why there are lower attendance within New Japan shows. Either way, I am still watching, I am still supporting, and I really do hope that they keep like somewhat of the same formula of what has had New Japan got to this point since 1972, but also implement new things so that we can start a new chapter of New Japan, especially when President Tanahashi has officially retired next year at Wrestle Kingdom. Let's talk about the show. So Drilla Maloney is not on the show tonight due to the fact that Gabe has withdrew from the tournament. So he just pretty much gets a night off. So we started off with the tag team matches. We have Bolton Oleg teaming up with Toru Yano to go against Daiki Nagai and Yota Tsuji. Way too short for me. Way too short for me. And I said this about yesterday too, where it's just like these opening matches are like almost squashes almost, because I'm not really sure why, to be honest with you, but I still do feel like when you start off the show, you really want to get that energy up in terms of getting the crowd pumped up for the remaining of the show, well, the whole show actually. And with you starting with a tribute to someone who just passed away, everyone's kind of feeling a little somber at first. And I just feel like for a opening match, they could have did much more to really get the crowd in better spirits moving on. Bolton and Toriano ends up taking the win. We're going to have Yota Tsuji going against Bolton Oleg tomorrow for Block A. Now, we have another tag team match. We have Cullum Newman teaming up with Jacob Austin Young to go against David Finlay and Ghetto. This was very interesting because immediately we have David Finlay, who was just like coming to the ring. David Finlay is definitely giving, you know how like Undertaker takes like 40 years to get to the ring for every match. He's doing this, and I feel like he's taking even longer every night. So he's literally take his sweet time to come to the ring, and then he kind of walks around the ring, and I'm just like, oh my God, please just get in the damn ring. Like, he's taking forever. But at that point, they end up, him and Cullum Newman ends up fighting into the crowd. They're fighting and into the crowd, and it's pretty much just Ghetto and Jacob in the ring, and that was short too because this is Ghetto we're talking about. He's old, he's frail, and he's gonna lose. So Jacob ends up taking the win with a Jacob ladder. So not really much to go with in this for this match, but I still wish there was a little bit more going on because, like I said, the opening didn't give me what I wanted. And like I said, starting to show off with a tribute, I just felt like we could have had a stronger opener and a second match to follow. It just wasn't what I was hoping for. But the show gets better. After this, we have our third tag team match of the night. We have Masatora Yoshida teaming up with Taichi to go against Sanada and Yoshinobu Kanemaru. They actually let Taichi come on in, do his whole song. They let him come in the song. They let him come, you know, performing his song to the ring. He comes into the ring and he's performing. He got his microphone and everything. And you could just see that Sanada and Yoshinobu, they're just like, fuck it, I don't want to wait anymore. And they start attacking them. And I'm not going to lie, that made me fucking laugh. I thought that was hilarious. So they decide to just attack them anyway. Sanada's really focused on getting his hands on Taichi for their match, well, today, which is later on tonight. And so he is taking him out the ring and he's beating him up in the crowd. He throws him onto the commentators. We had the Japanese commentators. And what was funny was that Yo was doing like special guest commentary with the commentators, and he is running and trying not to get into harm's way. And I'm just like, you're a wrestler. Like, when everybody else is running and acting a fool, you should just be like, this is just another day of the week. I don't know. That made me laugh. So while Sanada and Taichi got their thing going on outside the ring, we have Yoshinobu and Masatora in the ring. I'm looking at Masatora and I was just like, he gives me a young Shibata vibes. The look and the aggression. I'm definitely seeing it, and it's making me like, you know what, girl, keep your eyes out on him because something about him is very special. Taichi does make it back to the ring at some point. Definitely not enough when you have both of these guys from fucking House of Torture just cheating the whole motherfucking way. Referees have no control whatsoever. The Young Lions ringside, if the referee don't have the control, we don't even have to worry about the Young Lions. They ain't running a damn thing over there. And House of Torture ends up taking the win. They pin Masatora, no, not pin. They have him tap out from a Boston Crab. And I'm going to say, I am actually tired of seeing Boston Crabs. New Japan, I don't know what it is. I feel like everybody got together during this tournament and say, let's use a Boston Crab in every single match. I'm over it. I don't want to see it anymore. I'm done. After the match is over, though, Sanada snatches up Taichi again and throws him onto the commentators, Japanese commentators again. He is so upset. He grabs one of the plastic chairs that everybody's sitting on in the crowd, and he's going to go attack House of Torture with it. And I'm just like, baby, this is a plastic chair you be seeing like in anybody's yard. Like, you're not going to hurt anybody with this. Like, go get a real chair if you're going to want to hurt somebody. The Young Lions are out there trying to keep everyone away from each other. They're doing it unsuccessfully for like a few minutes before they're finally able to keep everyone away from each other. And I am actually looking forward to seeing Sonata and Taichi go at it one-on-one later on, because I know Taichi is like, I'm about to unleash the motherfucking dragon on your ass because I'm over it. And to be honest with you, I think like everyone is just like going to be on Taichi's corner, because they're just like, hey, we're done with the whole House of Torture thing. And if it could take you to be the one to take Sonata and a few of these guys in this group down from their high horse, we're definitely cheering for Taichi tomorrow night. Now after this, we have another tag team match. We have Tomoki Honma teaming up with Yuya Uemura to go against Dick Togo and Evil. Once again, House of Torture has grown impatient and don't really want to wait for people to get into the ring all the way. We're just going to start attacking people. And at this point, I was like, fuck it, why not? We got all these matches. We're in the middle of the card. Just start attacking people and we can get the show going. Honma is actually wearing like a Hulkamania inspired gear, like his trunks. It has his name on it, but it's like, you know, with the Hogan fonts and everything like that. And he's wearing yellow or whatever. And throughout the match, he's paying tribute to Hogan, doing the Hogan mannerisms and moves that Hogan would use and things like that. So I thought that was a pretty nice touch. But you would think that with him doing all these things, that would be something to maybe get him, his team, a win. Definitely not enough. We have Don Fale, who is ringside and ready for whatever. So they're cheating once again in the match, which helps House of Torture take another win. And I'm not gonna lie, after the match is over, they literally keep attacking their opponents. And then you see Evil just look back with a smile. And I'm just like, oh, I like that. Something about that smile just made me feel like, oh, everybody should be shook right now. Everybody in the competition should be shook right now. And I'm going to tell you why, because we're going to talk a little bit about the points in a little bit. So that match was a little fun, but still just another way to just show the dominance of House of Torture within this, not just competition, but within this whole damn company. And for our last tag team match, we have Kazuya Murashima teaming up with our president, Mr. Tanahashi, to go against Ryohei Oiwa and Hartley Jackson. I'm just going to be real with y'all. We did see something of Ryohei and President Tanahashi in the ring for a moment, but the main focus really was Kazuya and Hartley Jackson. And obviously these tag matches are to keep stories moving in between the blocks, because, you know, every night is dedicated to a block. And they're trying to keep stories being told or whatnot with these tag matches. But also it gives them an opportunity to breathe a little bit in the ring with having a tag partner. So we got a chance to see Hartley, who goes for a senton onto Kazuya. And Hartley's a big ass dude. So imagine a big ass dude just landing on your stomach. Like, I know this guy was just in pain holding on to his abdomen, and he was really upset about that. So that really brought the aggression out of Kazuya, and he kept trying to lift him, but obviously Hartley's a big dude, and then out of the blue catches him with a power slam. And when I tell you, the Japanese crowd are usually just kind of mild with the noise, but everybody was just marked out about this power slam, and I was just like, okay, bitch, I see you out here showing off. Not enough for the win, though, because Hartley got really upset about that. Like, I'm not going to let some small dude pick me up and slam me, and ends up taking the win for our boys, the Mighty Don't Kneel. So tomorrow night, we will be having Ryohei Oiwa going against President Tanahashi. They kind of have a few words with each other in the middle of the ring, and I'm looking at it and I'm just like, President Tanahashi, that looks like that can be your son. Like, maybe you want to get a little DNA test or something. They look very much related. Let's talk about Block B matches. So we started off with Yoshihashi going against the Great Okan. And the match was okay. I mean, I wasn't, you know, losing my tits or anything over it. Thought it was all right. Yoshihashi ends up taking the win to get 8 points. 8 points. I didn't even realize that we were already at that point of somebody having 8 points. So that was very interesting to see the 8 points put up on the board. Now, we started to cook a little bit more, a lot more actually. Zack Sabre Jr. going against El Fantasma for me, I was just like, all right, girl, let's sit up. This is going to get interesting. And when I tell you, Zach is not feeling happy about that loss that he's already had, and he's feeling some type of way. And you see him in the ring, and he's pretty much giving the same vibe that he always has, but you know that he's just like, from here on out, I'm not gonna let no bitch come just beat me and just get the best out of me, like how Shota did the other night, which I know a lot of people are still surprised about. But you know, kudos to Shota for that little win, because you ain't getting the title the next time you go against him. When I tell you, very quickly, El Phantasmo realized, oh, I can't just be wrestling like I'm just wrestling anybody in this ring. Like, this is Zack Sabre Jr. He has something for me. I don't want to say this was the longest match. It could have been the longest match. It might have been. I didn't look at the numbers, but this definitely felt longer than all the other matches on the card to me. And ELP had so much aggression because he realized that Zach is not going to be playing with him. And they were just damn near killing each other. There was a part of this match where we even had Zack Sabre Jr. laid out in the middle of the crowd, okay? And people were just like, oh, we typically don't see this, where somebody just got our boy just laying in the middle of the crowd, diving onto people and everything. Like, he literally had Zach feeling some type of way, and you can see that he was just like, I'm about to wrap this shit up. Gets back into the ring. And we had El Phantasmo hit Zach with a PK right to the chest. But Zach catches his leg and is like, no, bitch, I don't think so. Zach gets up, holding on to El Phantasmo's leg, and El Phantasmo went for the first bitch slap to the face. And I was like, oh. And then followed by like maybe a little 6, 7 more bitch slaps after that. And Zach was like, excuse me? And gives him the mother of all bitch slaps and put El Phantasmo straight to the mat. And I was just like, that's probably it. You could probably just pin him right now and we can wrap this up. He pins El Phantasmo. El Phantasmo kicks out somehow. And Zach is not happy about it. Snatches him up into almost a choke. And El Phantasmo ends up getting out of that. And Zach is like, I'm not going to let you get away. Ends up applying another choke. And make sure he stretches him out. Like, literally got his legs behind his head. And he got the fucking arms behind and everything. He when I tell you El Phantasmo, he tapped, but like tap with a finger, because he can't really tap with his whole hand because he's locked up right now by Zack Sabre Jr. And our boy, Zach, ends up taking the win, which I do appreciate, but that only brings him up to 4 points. Oh, it's fine. It's fine. We don't want him to win, but I'm just saying, only 4 points at this point. And this was a really great match. This is one of those matches where you're just like, you feel the competition in the ring. And El Phantasmo brought a different side to himself into this. This is one of my favorite matches on the competition so far, but he fell short. After the match, Zach looked at him up and down like, all right, I see you came in here and did a little something, and dapped him and just ended up leaving. Really, really great matchup. After this, we have Shota Umino going against Ren Narita. We had shenanigans from night 5 with Ren and Shota with the whole House of Torture thing. So Shota was like, bitch, I'm ready for you. And I'm going to say, like, I do feel like Shota let his guard down a little bit, because for a majority of the match, there was no interference. So it just kind of felt like, okay, I'm going against Ren. I have beaten this man. What he said it was, like, they've had, I think, 7 matches together, 6 or 7 matches together, and Shota has beaten him every single time. Ren has never beat him one-on-one. So I think that confidence of the track record kind of made him feel like this is probably going to happen again. But then Yoshinobu Kanemaru come on out, and the shenanigans came right back on. And at that point, he was distracting the referee, and Ren was going to give him a low blow, but Shota caught, and he's like, bitch, I'm ready for you. I'm ready for you. He ends up knocking out Ren Narita, punching him dead in the face. Ren laid out there, and I was like, bitch, pin him. Just pin him. And he stands there. This is a very awkward moment in this match. I don't know this necessarily on purpose or whatever, but fucking Shota just stands there after knocking him out, and that he just stood there, and then he leans forward, and I guess he was gonna grab Ren or something. I don't know, but it's just like after seconds of just awkwardly standing there after knocking somebody out and not pinning them, and then he leans over, and then that's when Ren Narita snatches him up into a guillotine. And I was like, you let him do this? You literally let him do this? But anyway, Shota was, I don't want to say ready for it, but ends up getting out of that guillotine choke and continuing the match. But not for long, because obviously Yoshinobu, who's still out there, is still distracting Red Shoes for no fucking reason. And that right there is all they needed for Ren Narita to snatch up Shota Umino again in a guillotine choke for the win this time. Ren Narita finally beats Shota Umino and got 8 points. And I was like, what? When did he, what? I didn't even notice that we was there for another person to already get 8 points. So far, 2 people with 8 points from tonight. And I thought that was like, holy shit, like they are not playing. They are not playing at all. Didn't even realize we was already at 8 points. Now on to the main event. Shingo Takagi versus Takeshita. And Tony Khan, I hope you was watching this, because you should be. What is it about Takeshita in New Japan that makes him look like a mega star and not the same in AEW? I'm really trying to connect the dots, and I'm not seeing like why would that be so different? When I tell you Takeshita, that aura, that superstar aura that he has is insane. And it's not to say that I've never felt that watching him in AEW, but you're constantly seeing and feeling this from him every night in this tournament. And even when he had the championship there as well. And then when he goes to AEW, being part of Don Callis' family, taking L's and not being able to speak in his native language and all that stuff kind of holds him back from being a star that he really is. I don't know what that's about, but Tony Khan fixed it. That right there, that's a future AEW World Champion. That is a future IWGP World Heavyweight Champion right there. And if Tony Khan, I get it. There's a lot of people within AEW that are stars too. But like, whatever you've been doing with Takeshita, you're going to have to look at what he's doing in New Japan and be like, we're bringing that over to AEW as well. This match was one of the best matches that they've had in terms of this tournament. And it gave you everything you wanted in a main event. Shingo is so confident, and you can just see like he doesn't want Takeshita to just come on out here, a young blood to come on out here and just beat him. So you see the intensity within Shingo to take this win. And honestly, in a way, I'm just kind of cheering for him, but silently as well. But Takeshita, like I said, is my pick for this whole tournament. And I'm watching this and I'm seeing like if anybody's not gunning for Takeshita, like you are definitely tripping at this point. Takeshita wins with a chicken wing. Once again, using a chicken wing, which is something he typically do not do. Yes, he gave the Blue Thunder Bomb. Yes, he get the Raging Fire, which is typically his finisher. But once again, the chicken wing, I guess, is reliable for a win, so he goes for it. Having Shingo not tap. Shingo passes out. Red Shoes is like picking up his hand. He's barely alive, and he's like, damn, I'm going to have to call for the bell, Shingo. Why you do this to me? And go for the bell. And Takeshita wins. Takeshita now with 6 points, but he can catch up. He can catch up, and we can see what ends up happening with him leading maybe to get to the finals. I don't know if that's going to be the case. This was a really great match. If we're talking in terms of the block matches, they all are just absolutely stunning. The tag matches, they're just there to just be there. Takeshita gives a promo after this while the young lions are helping Shingo to the back. He was like, Shingo, I respect you more than anyone in this business, but I wasn't going to let you beat me. And then he goes on to say, I'm letting everybody know that I'm the alpha. And I'm not going to let anyone else beat me. I'm not only going to win this tournament, but when you think of pro wrestling, you are going to think of Konosuke Takeshita. When I tell you... When I tell you, like, he tore up. Now, look, he did do it in Japanese. They had a little translation going, but you feel the emotions. You feel him in this promo. And I keep telling people, like, speaking another language has nothing to do with if somebody can cut a promo or not. This guy is perfect. Oh, my God. Tony Khan, whatever y'all got going over there, fix it. Because this right here is a megastar. And you got to treat him like that in AEW, too. The show was pretty good. We got night 7 in a few hours. I don't even know how many hours from here. But I am expecting another really great show. So if you want to check out the G1 tournament, it's over on New Japan World. It's a really, really great app. I forgot to check because I was supposed to check to see if maybe they might have had like tribute matches and stuff about Hogan or whatever for anybody who's interested in seeing that. When I got on the app this morning, I didn't see it. But I wouldn't be surprised if they do, because New Japan, they have stuff from like the 80s and 70s on the app as well, if anybody's interested to see all that. So I'm pretty sure that they do playlists for wrestlers or whatever. So I can see them doing a tribute playlist for Hogan at some point. So if anybody wants to see what it was like for Hogan in Japan, then I'm pretty sure they'll end up posting that, or you're just gonna have to dig through the app to find that. Really, really great show. I'll see you guys on the next review on night 7. Bye.